Now, this is definitely a sensitive topic, but this is a big question I've gotten a lot and also as a statement. And that is, what is the chance of being attacked or being assaulted in an Uber and Lyft when driving? I've gotten this question a lot, especially from a lot of my girlfriends saying, hey, Mark, I really want to drive for Lyft and Uber, but I'm just afraid as a girl being attacked. Do you know what the chances of me potentially being assaulted or someone coming at me while driving? Looking at the pure statistics, as you can see, from the billions of trips when it comes to Uber, only 0.0003% included a report of quote-unquote critical safety incident, defined as a lethal accident, a physical assault resulting in death, or any sort of sexual assault. So in terms of the chance of a severe, life-threatening issue happening, the chance is 0.0003%. And in addition, overall, looking at the math, 99.9% of Uber rides are safe, according to the latest U.S. safety report from the ride-sharing company. Now, this is something I personally study because I'm a former accountant, and a big part of accounting is statistics. And remember that there is obviously a lot of math and psychology that comes with statistics. The biggest thing is this. Overall, in a very simple explanation, the chance of something happening in an Uber and Lyft, whether you're driving or even as a passenger, is unbelievably low. As you saw from the statistics, it is highly unlikely, and both Uber and Lyft has increased and strengthened their background checks to make sure, just to be safe, that you only have the best drivers on the road. However, of course, nothing is perfect. And there's two things I'm going to say. One is I've had a lot of people, when I tell them that, say, Mark, okay, that makes sense, but I see all these news articles online about an attack happening or a sexual assault happening or a very frightening incident happening. Remember, when it comes to the news, and I know I'm poking this hornet's nest with a stick, but when it comes to the news, their goal is to get clicks, views, and get attention. If, let's say, 100,000 Ubers happen and Lyfts and nothing bad happens, they're not going to do a story about it. But let's say there's an assault in one trip out of 100,000 trips, of course, what's going to get the attention? Of course, that one. So that is one thing I want to say, that if you do, let's say, Google Uber assault or Lyft assault, you'll see a ton of news articles, and it's very easy to think, oh, wow, maybe this happens all the time. And of course, one incident is always one too many, which I will talk about in a second in terms of safety precautions you can take. But overall, I do want to say that although, yes, these articles get headline news every time they happen, they are extremely far and few between because there's billions of rides and there are only a handful of actual incidents. That being said, though, you should always be safe and always be as cautious as possible. Like I said, one incident, even in 1 in a million, is still one too many. So you should always be safe, both as a passenger and as a driver. The first thing I'm going to say, especially for all the drivers out there, is one, make sure you have a dash cam. This is good for a couple different reasons. They're going to, say, attack you or even do something more malicious. Like we've seen videos of people stealing money out of the tip jar in an Uber, or people coughing on their Uber or Lyft driver. By having the dash cam, one, it deters people from actually doing it because you're like, oh, well, I'm on camera now, they're going to record me. And two, let's say there's ever some legal action you do have to take, you have video evidence of what happened. The second thing I suggest to a lot of drivers, have pepper spray. Now, I've seen some mixed reports, being honest, when it comes to Uber and Lyft, about having a weapon, quote unquote, in your vehicle. Having pepper spray, I feel like, is a gray area if it's an actual weapon as opposed to, like, say, a knife or a gun. No matter what, though, safety is the number one priority. I don't care what Uber or Lyft says. Having pepper spray on you is a great way to deter somebody if, let's say, they're trying to attack you or whatever. And it's one of the best non-lethal options that's out there. Also remember that, let's say, at the end of the day, if, let's say, someone's really trying to attack you, pulling over and getting out of the vehicle, doing what you can to make sure your safety is the number one priority is never a bad idea. Especially, let's say, in a city, even if it seems dramatic, doesn't matter. Pulling over, getting your keys out, running out of the car, making a scene, being super loud, and getting people's attention so they know, hey, something is going down, is something that's very important to do. And again, I know sometimes it's not the easiest thing to do, or sometimes you're like, I don't want to cause a scene or be dramatic. Do it. If your life is ever in danger, or if let's say there's ever something going on, again, these cases are super far and few between. But if you are in that type of incident, getting out of the vehicle and getting away from the situation is always super important. Now, when it comes to passengers and when you're taking an Uber and Lyft, the same advice follows. The biggest thing, though, at the end of the day is make sure your vehicle is the correct vehicle. As you can imagine, when people are drinking, they might get in the wrong vehicle, or they might even get in a vehicle that's not even an Uber or Lyft. In addition to all the things I said, make sure your driver is the exact driver. Check the photo, make sure the name is correct, make sure the license plate is correct, make sure you're getting into the right Uber and Lyft with both the driver and a vehicle. Overall, though, summing this entire video up, one, it is extremely unlikely for anything to happen in an Uber and Lyft. Unbelievably unlikely. However, though, one incident is still too many, and make sure you are as safe as possible any single time you're on the road.